My name's Anne-Marie Graham-Hudak. I'm your Canton Township Supervisor. Welcome to another segment of Good Day Canton. Today we're here to meet Renee Glass. She's a social worker which has recently been employed by the Township to help some of our residents. We're here to learn about Renee and find out what's been going on. Hi Renee, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yes.
Welcome to Good Day Canton.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So everybody's excited that you're here, and I was just wondering if you wouldn't mind just talking a little bit about your background and what brought you to this point.
Sure, absolutely. This initiative that I saw in the news about Canton Township partnering with behavioral health and then having a social worker or a clinician on the public safety team here in the township was so exciting. I have not been that excited in many years about an initiative. So I'll give you a little background about me. Okay. I'm from Northern Michigan. I'm 59 years old. I have 2 sons, and I'm currently married to another social worker who works in Washtenaw County. I have a master's degree in social work. So my first degree was a bachelor's degree in science, and it was a heavy concentration of science, and it was social science, sociology, psychology. And I went to work because at that time, in the 80s, social work programs weren't I went to Central Michigan University, and they closed that program. There wasn't enough interest.
Wow.
Yeah. So social work has evolved over the years quite a lot, just as law enforcement has, just as public safety has, just as townships and cities do. So we all evolve and learn from our past and our history. And my past and my history isn't all that great, but I have all the credentials. I have them all.
You used to be a teacher.
I was
right?
a teacher. So I got my second degree in Bachelor in Social Work in 2007, because by that time, social work had changed the laws. And so I couldn't work or operate under the same conditions doing what I did. But before that, my son is on the autism spectrum. And so when he was 3, I was having such difficulty with daycare, being a mom, being a wife, working full time. I decided to stop doing social work, and I got into teaching. And I was able to get my son as my student in my kindergarten class because I taught kindergarten.
Very nice.
Yeah. So then I was able to do that for a few years here in Canton. So Canton's my hometown.
Oh, very good. Very good. And then, so how did you get involved in social work again after teaching?
Okay, so teaching, and then I went back into social work because I was a private school teacher at the time. And that sort of income I was divorced by this time, private school teacher, and I couldn't afford it, even with all of that, to have my 2 sons and me as a single mom. So I could get a better income if I went back into social work, so I did.
Okay, wow, that's a great story. I know it's real hard. It's real hard for single moms out there.
It's very hard, and it's so I get that. I get what it's like to be a single mom. I get what it's like to be a single mom without a lot of family support. I get what in the area. My family is wonderful, but in the area, I get what it's like to be a single mom of a child that has a special need. And then what happens to the other child that doesn't get all that attention, and then how all that happens. So I get all that.
So that probably helps you a lot in your work with helping some of our residents.
It sure does.
Okay, that's great.
It sure does. I've got many, many life experiences that I've gone through that give me a relatability for a lot of the residents. So, and I'm not fearful of listing them, and I will. In my family, we have substance use disorders, very much. Immediate family. my husband, myself, and both of my sons all had substance use disorders at one time.
Mm-hmm.
We all now do not. We all now have come back from that and been resilient from all of that stress and drama and that causes.
Oh, that's a lot. Oh, that's commendable that you can use those experiences to help others.
Yes. So I have that substance use disordered experience,
Mm-hmm.
lived experience. And then I have had a son with special needs, and I was a single mom, so I have that lived experience.
Mm-hmm.
I went through divorce. I have that lived experience. I had a house burned down with my kids in it at 3 a.m. I have that lived experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a survivor of a very serious cancer. I'm 5 years out. And so I have that experience. And all the while trying to do just what everybody else is trying to do in our community. Being safe, feeling safe,
Mm-hmm.
feeling like we belong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Canton is where I've always felt like I belong.
That's wonderful. You know, that's one of our one of our visions is you belong here.
I did not.
Yes. Yep.
I did not.
Yep. Well, that's wonderful.
It is.
Now, what attracted you to this job? What, when you saw it?
Well, I was in private practice. So I've had a private practice in Canton, very busy private practice. And I was in a group. So private practice, there's two kinds, and mine was a group. So the group funds all of the administrative costs, and then there's usually an owner, okay? And then each person in the group is independent, meaning we don't need anyone to supervise us. We don't need we can open that door and that's my shop. You come into my office, now you just walked into my shop. Mm-hmm. Okay. So there was 30 of us, and multiple disciplines: psychiatry, psychology, social work, and professional counselors. Mm-hmm. Those are the disciplines that make up most of the behavioral health world. Mm-hmm. Okay. So a national corporation bought our private practice.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't want to become an employee at that point. And so I started to look for positions out in the community and doing things.
Okay, great.
This was something that captured my attention.
Great.
This is so new. It's so innovative. It met all of my goals and my criteria. Mm-hmm. And I was all on board to do this.
What are your thoughts on the program right now in terms of, you've been in it for approximately 2 months?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on how it's running or anything that you need?
It is running fabulously. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing program. And I am privileged to get to experience it. There are only 2 of us right now in the state doing this. There are more coming, mm-hmm. and there are other clinicians and social workers that work within public safety, mm-hmm. but not in the capacity that myself and the Livonia Police Department.
Okay, I know that people also think, I've had residents say, well, now that your police department has one, how do I get assistance if I need it? And I said, well, she does reside in the police department, but if a resident needs some services, they can call and we can do some referrals.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
What kind of things are you seeing? What do you think are biggest challenges out there in the community?
Well, we have a very big gap between what a public mental health system can provide. Mm-hmm. So that's, our folks that aren't as socioeconomically privileged. Mm-hmm. So their incomes are low. Maybe their education isn't what others have, so it's less. Mm-hmm. So we have an explosion going on and a gap. So that explosion is behavioral health. When I say behavioral health, that's kind of a new term for mental health. And all of that really is brain health. So really the brain is an organ and it's all health. Mm-hmm. So we're moving in those directions. But having that gap between what is provided publicly and then what do folks get with private insurance is such a large gap. And everybody's brain is the same. Everybody has brains, and they're all the same. And so factors affect brains. Genetics, huge. The research is showing more and more. The environment, huge. How you grow up, where you grow up. So that gap in between, folks that have private insurance and money to pay for services, and then the folks that don't, that get lots and lots and lots of service. So there's a big gap there. There's a challenge there.
Okay. We're going to be right back with Renee. We're just going to take a little break on Good Day Canton.
Ghouls, goblins, and superheroes all turned out for this year's second annual Trunk or Treat event hosted by Canton's Public Safety Department. Music for the event was provided by local station 88.1 The Park, and kids got treats from the Public Safety Department as well as Canton Township Supervisor Anne-Marie Graham-Hudak, with the Township board members along with some local businesses. Kids were able to see everyone from Elsa to Dracula and every costume in between. Hundreds of cars drove through, some decorated, some having spooky passengers. Over 600 cars drove through the parking lot of Connection Church, making this year another success for everyone involved by providing fun and treats for the children of Canton Township in a safe environment.
Hello everyone, I'm Anne-Marie Graham-Hudak, Canton Township Supervisor, and I'd like to welcome all of you to Canton's 19th Annual Turkey Trot for a Cause to benefit the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan. This annual Thanksgiving Day morning run has become such a great Canton tradition for all ages to come together in support of such a good cause, and we are pleased that you are joining us to make sure this tradition continues in 2021. Canton is proud to be the host site of this special event that has raised over $200,000 over the past 18 years, where all fitness levels are encouraged to participate in the fight against epilepsy. Everyone from first-time racers to seasoned runners and walkers is welcome to join in this Chip Time 5K race or 1 mile fun run. This year's event is being held both in person and virtually to give everyone an opportunity to take part in this annual tradition. As you head to the starting line or lace up your shoes for the treadmill, I would like to thank you on behalf of Canton Township for participating in Canton's 19th Annual Turkey Trot, as well as thank you for supporting the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan. Also, as you gather with family and friends, I wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving and all the best during this holiday season. Hello, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome back to Good Day Canton with our guest, Renee Glass, our social worker in Canton Township. So Renee, what is a lot of the residents were worried about if that you were going to get hurt. They said, a social worker is going to be riding, in the passenger seat and all kinds of things are going to happen. But we know that's not what happens. So what typically happens if one of our officers needs to contact you? How does that go?
The process in place currently is the officers take a complaint, whether it's out in the community or somebody comes into the station. If the complaint is warranted that it would need a behavioral health or social work intervention, it comes to me. And then I triage all of them based on my clinical skills and judgment. And then the ones that need immediate attention, I get on those first. And then I know the folks that are not in precarious situations that I have to wait because the participation of the community has been overwhelming.
Right.
So they know about this program now. They know about me being there. The officers are very knowledgeable on how to do all this because we have all these crisis trained officers.
Yes, we have great officers. Yeah.
And they're all trained in crisis. Not all, but a big majority. Which is another star for Canton Township in the whole state.
That's wonderful. So when they refer someone to you, basically determine what kind of services they need.
Yes.
And then do you make phone calls and you help them get there?
I do. So I make phone calls. I do co-response also. So that's where the safety issue comes in. So I can meet people in my office. I can meet people at their homes. I can meet people at McDonald's. I have all that freedom. It's a beautiful thing, honestly. I can have people just on the phone because I'm board certified in telehealth. So I have all of that knowledge and experience.
Okay.
So working just on the phone, working with someone on video, all of that is something I can do to help empower folks in our community.
Okay. Now, I had talked to you before about, you were talking about gaps, and we know that, a lot of our like healthcare facilities, inpatient healthcare facilities had closed down in the
Yes.
80s, which I
Yes.
know is attributed to homelessness and even just part of the mental health
Yes.
crisis. And
Yes.
Michigan is suffering from
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Is that hurting you in terms of what you can offer to some of the people who come to you?
I'm not seeing that it's hurting me
Okay.
yet. I'm doing some co-response in the jail. I've seen a lot of jails in my time. We have a really nice jail. And I love to talk about the jail because it's very humane. And the officers that are in charge of the jail they're so caring and compassionate. So the perception might be fierce, but when I see the reality, that's not it. So I'm bragging about the jail to anybody that'll listen.
So what you mean by that is basically they care for the people that are there. They're very caring.
Very caring.
Okay.
And so part of my co-response is to go into the jail.
Okay.
So when there's a person having a behavioral health crisis or issue in the jail, then I go into the jail, I talk to the person very safely. If I need an officer there, they stand right there with me. I talk to them through the jail cell. I establish a relationship with them. I get them to agree if they want to services. Okay. And then I work with their family or whoever else I need to get them in the appropriate service and not in the criminal justice system. Okay. If that makes sense.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think that we're finding a lot of things that are happening out there are trauma-based, right?
Absolutely.
You're not just there just because you decided to do something one day. A lot of things have happened to you when you end up where you are. And so that's where you're helping them, connect them with services to assist.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I'm trauma informed. So that's another credential that I have.
Oh, that's great.
So I look at things through that lens. When I look at a person, I look at the person first.
Okay. That's wonderful. So how many cases do you have right now? Well,
currently we had 32 when I started. So in 1 month, or 32. And I went through all of those. And then I've been in training a lot this month to provide safety for me. So while I'm out with officers, which I will be, I've had that training. So I'm certified in that crisis intervention training for police officer. I also had so much experience on the street in my early days.
So when you talk about safety, you're speaking of safety for the residents or safety for yourself when you're with the police at a site, or what did you mean by that?
Yes, all of it. Safety of the person in the community is paramount. My safety while I'm in the community is paramount. Okay. And then the officer's safety, and then the community's safety. So there's multiple factors when I go out or when the officers go out that we're all thinking about, because we all have the same goal.
Right. And I know that like you said, our officers are well trained and they work on de-escalation, which is a big help. And so sometimes do you find you're working more out in the field or more so helping people after they get, brought into the station? Where do you find that you're working mostly?
Currently, it's 50-50.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I do have people I'm going out to see. Those folks have been determined to be a secure area or person. So then I go and I meet with them in their home or in the community, and we develop a very quick solution-focused plan. I could go back 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 6 months to get those solutions in place so that safety factor that we all desire can be there for that resident.
Okay, and I know that you're also working with other agencies too,
Correct.
such as First Step, and you have,
Mhm.
My Family Service. You have a
Yes.
different agencies you can work to help connect you
Yes.
with. So it's not all on you.
No,
Also,
no. Right. So
Yeah.
once I get, I have to find out what a person wants.
Mhm.
So if I can find out what you want very quickly,
Mhm.
then I can add in how do we get to what you want.
Right.
It's perceived much better by folks that way
Mhm.
than if I come and say you need,
Right.
you need.
Right.
So person first language, strength based, trauma informed, street work. I did it for 10 years. Garden City, Wayne, Wesleyan, Inkster, Detroit. When there wasn't any police backup, when we didn't even have cell phone.
Okay, so is there something that you wish the viewers to know about help that's available to them right now?
Oh, yes, absolutely. There is so much help. I could talk for an hour about what's available. That's how much help there really is. It's finding it that's hard for folks because it's all over. And a little bit here or somebody over here or this agency. But in Canton, we have some wonderful agencies and we have some great resources that we can talk about right now. So I am also certified in suicide prevention. So there's a phone number that I want to make sure I have correct, that if folks need it, they can just call 24/7. If they feel like they're having thoughts to hurt themselves, they're having plans to hurt themselves, because that's right now, suicide is through the roof. Okay. So 1-800-273-TALK. So 1-800-273-TALK or 8255. Then we have Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network that provides a 24/7 crisis line. Anybody can call it at any time. That phone number is 1-800-241-4949. We also have a psychiatric center called COPE. And COPE is located in Livonia, and they service a lot of folks in this part of Wayne County. And they offer so many programs, 24/7, mobile crisis, mobile response, peers, meaning folks that have the same diagnoses, going out and meeting with the folks that have the same diagnoses to help get everyone feeling safer. So there's so many resources. And COPE, the phone number for COPE is 734-721-0200. So COPE.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
So then if anyone wants anything outside of that, they can always call and find out.
They
if you help
can.
with that. Okay.
We have so many resources available. They
Okay.
can go on the website,
Okay.
Canton Public Safety website.
Oh, okay.
There's a public safety Facebook that's got resources rolling.
Okay, great.
We have a resource officer. That's her job as a police officer. She has so many resources.
Right. Okay.
So they're just everywhere.
Great. Well, thank you for being with us. And I know everybody's going to look forward to meeting you if they need any help. You've been a great resource so far. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for joining us at Good Day Canton, and have a great day.